Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
To a United Nations World Drug Report. It states that cannabis was the world's most widely produced, trafficked, and consumed drug in the world in the year 2010. And it is estimated that about or between 128 million and 238 million users people these are the number of people who are using it globally. That was in the year 2015. This is according to a research. Today on Regulators, we are going to talk about cannabis, or what we locally call as marijuana. We are going to discuss what it does to our system and if law enforcers should get hold of you having it even in a dried form or in its raw state, what can be done to you and what the law states or what the law frowns on concerning marijuana. My name is Nafali Kwako. Thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to also go onto Facebook and you can get this there to watch. Don't forget to also share with your friends, and when it's time for you to also contribute, you can do so by sending in your WhatsApp messages or even your normal text messages on 0509257753. We'll be here to answer your questions for you. Today I have been joined by a rep from the Narcotics Control Commission. Today we would have a rep from there, then we are going to discuss marijuana, but we'll take a break and when we come back we'll continue.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
Back. Thanks so much for joining us. I indicated that my name is Nafali Kwakwen. Thanks so much. This is Regulators. I've been joined by Mr. Ajay. He's going to tell us all we need to do about marijuana and what they would do to us if they find us having it in its raw state or even in its processed state. If they get you around the borders, they get you in a car, and then they happen to have some few investigations or try to get to know what is in your car and you find out that it is there, what they are going to do to you first before the law even takes its own course. Mr. Ajay, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Okay. Now, can you give us a pictorial view, explain to us vividly what the plant itself looks like? We know that the plant is cannabis, but we have some parts that is very harmful. And if you can tell us if the whole thing is actually harmful.
Thank you. Marijuana or cannabis is a plant which looks very beautiful, like a flower that we know in some localities.
Okay.
It is a plant that is cultivated or grows almost everywhere in the world. And according to World Drugs Report, it is always the most abused illegal drug in the world. Every country, every continent you think about in the world, this plant is found there. It has been there for ages. I read a little about it, and the write-up indicates that it was even there before Jesus Christ was born.
Yeah, way back.
And yeah, way back. And in the ancient days, especially the Chinese people used it as medicine. In our part of the world, it is also known years back, where people use it as medicine. Some use it for recreational purposes. But over the years, it has been noticed that the drug or the leaf, the plant itself contains some medicals,
Okay.
some chemicals that are harmful to the body.
Okay.
So marijuana is referring to the floppy and the leafy part of the cannabis plant. Locally, there are a lot of street names for
it.
that part of the plant.
Okay. So
Some
what are
people-
some of the street names that we can hear?
The common ones like marijuana, Indian hemp, though we have the species that are referred to as the Indian hemp,
Indian hemp,
but locally it is known as Indian hemp. In the local parlance too, people call it abonsam tawa. And I always tell people that abonsam hasn't got any free gift. So if you go for abonsam tawa, he will come after you. And some also call it Mary J. Some call it ganja. Among those who smoke or use it, they have such street names for this plant. Now, research shows that some say it has as many as 400 chemicals.
Wow.
You read from some other researchers, they say it is 100 chemicals. But whatever be the case, all researchers have one thing in common, that this plant has a very particular chemical called tetrahydrocannabinol, THC for short, for those who will not be able to pronounce it.
Is that why it is psychoactive?
Yes.
Okay.
That chemical is the cause of the mental altering or the mind altering aspect of the plant.
Okay.
And it is very difficult to separate that particular chemical from the others. It is the dominant chemical in the plant. So every part of the plant that you take, this THC is found in it. And that is what causes the mind altering properties. So any part of it that you smoke or you take it in any form, that part is there. And it creates a lot of problems or dangers to the body when it is consumed. How do people consume it? The general method that we know is by smoking. But some boil it like we boil tea and drink. Some mix it in soup, some mix it in food items, and of recently, it has been noticed that those who sell them want to disguise it a little, so they prepare it in the form of toffee,
Yeah.
and that creates a lot of problem, dangers to the users, because little children are attracted with
The toffee.
toffees.
Yeah, and they want to purchase.
Exactly. And when they see these toffees, they may not even know the content or what it is made up of. They take it once and it creates this initial euphoria that people get when they smoke. Then they will be attracted to it, go for it all the time, and eventually they will become addicted to it.
Okay.
So that is very dangerous.
So now
And
let's come back to
Good.
Ghana. What does the laws of our country state concerning cannabis or concerning marijuana and the smoking, the altering it into any kind or any form at all, and in fact any of the uses?
Yeah.
What does the law state about
Very
it?
good. Formerly, we had the PNDC law 236. Just recently, that has been replaced with the new narcotics control
No.
law, which is Act 2020, 10 Act 1019,
Yeah.
and both acts prohibit the use, the cultivation, transportation, or distribution of this particular plant or narcotic drug.
Okay.
So a lot of people say wrongly that, oh, this new law has made weed or marijuana
Legal.
legal.
Okay.
It has been legalized. It is never true.
But what makes the two laws a bit different?
What makes the two laws different is that this new law has some provision which wasn't in the old law. This new law makes some species of marijuana legal for the cultivation, the cultivation legal for the purpose of medicinal or research purposes.
So is it medicinal?
People are now researching into it to see what kind of medicine can be produced out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. In Ghana, we have not got any particular ailment that we use it for. People claim that when they smoke it, it cures asthma, but there is no scientific base to say that yes, it is medicine for asthma. So for now, we don't have any medicine attributed to marijuana or produced from marijuana. What the law says is that from article 32 up to 42, all those articles or sections of the new law says that,
Was it the 1019?
yes, the 1019, nobody should cultivate
Okay.
any plant for narcotic purposes, including marijuana or the cannabis plant. So cultivation of marijuana is still illegal. The same section also say that anybody found in possession of any narcotic drug offends the law, and the law prescribes punishment for that. So the possession of weed or marijuana, the mere possession is against the law, is illegal. Cultivation is illegal, possession is illegal, distribution is illegal.
Okay.
You cannot take it from Ghana, send it outside Ghana. That is exportation. No. Same way, you cannot bring it from any other country into
Ghana.
into Ghana. That is also illegal. So still up to today, cannabis or marijuana is illegal in Ghana.
Okay.
What the law says is this: the Minister for the Interior, upon recommendation of the Narcotics Commission, will grant a license for the cultivation of marijuana or cannabis which content of THC is below or up to 0.3%.
Okay.
So if you can get that species of
The 0.3%.
cannabis with a content of THC content of 0.3%, then the law or the minister, upon recommendation of the commission, will give license for the cultivation of that purposely for medicinal or industrial purposes. Industrial purposes, maybe they some are saying that you can get fiber from it. So if that is the purpose of planting it, then the license can be issued for that. It is never for recreational purposes, that is smoke and get the high that people are looking for from it. No, that is not permitted.
Okay. Now let's get to our country's borders.
Yes.
If someone is found with any of beads, even a small content of it at the borders, what will be the first point of call? I know you have your people at the borders,
Yes, we
including
have our people-
most of the security agencies.
We have our people at the entrance points all over the country.
Okay.
We have regional offices, and we are also assisted by the other security agencies.
Agencies, okay.
The police is there. They do a lot of arrests of cannabis distribution in the country. The immigration service give us information. They cause arrest and then they hand it over to us. Customs does same. And any excuse my words, any civilian or any ordinary person who sees somebody trading in these drugs or transporting this drug from any point A to point B can alert any security organization, security agency to cause the arrest of the person. Once the law says it is prohibited, it is prohibited, it's illegal. If you possess it, any quantity at all that you see somebody possessing it, the person can be arrested. Only if the person will be able to defend himself by showing that he has the authorization to use it or to possess it, then the law will prescribe what to be done to such a person. But
okay.
if you cannot prove that you have the authorization to use it or possess it, then the law will deal with you like
Accordingly.
accordingly. Like
So does a quantity you have
offense.
determine the kind of punishment you are going to be subjected to?
Yes, if the person having some small quantity and it is found out proven that it's for personal use, then the law has prescription or the law has prescribed punishment for that person. Even there will be a situation where the person will not be imprisoned, but the judge can instruct that the person be taken to a rehabilitation center for treatment, and that treatment will be compulsory. So that is where we are heading towards now.
Currently.
Currently.
But does the country have enough rehabilitation centers? And we have data of people who are abusing or who have had access to these cannabis that we are talking about today?
Yes, let me begin with the last part of your question.
Okay.
We don't have government-owned rehab
Rehabilitation
centers. Nonetheless, hospitals like the Kolebu Addictive Unit,
Okay.
the Accra Psychiatric Hospital, Pantan Hospital, Ankafo Hospital, these are government institutions that treat all mental cases, including drug-related cases.
Okay.
So people go there and they are taken care of. Aside that, there are quite a number of private rehabilitation centers. In Accra here, we can count about 4 or 5. We have some at Jowulu area. We have one also at Abofun or Achimota side. There is one at Ashaima, called St. Francis Rehab Center. There is one at Nsawam Pakro, or Pakro near Nsawam. These are the few that I remember offhand. Yeah. And if somebody falls into drug abuse and the person is taken to any of these centers, the person can obtain help. But at the moment, we've not got any government-owned rehab centers where people can just walk in, like drug-related issues can be sent to, apart from the places that I've mentioned. Now, the other part of your question, whether we have data of
yeah.
people, yes and no at the same time.
Okay.
Yes, because the current rehabilitation centers I've mentioned have records of people who have gone into these drugs and they've been affected. No, because those records that we get or we have from the rehab centers is just small part of the whole problem.
Okay.
Only reported cases is what is recorded there. But there are quite a number of people who are drug addicts or smokers, weed smokers, or users of psychotropic substances, because they have not fallen into any health problems. They have not reported, or they have not been reported. So such people, we don't have any records on them. That is why I said yes and no. Yes, because when you go to the rehab, the few rehab centers I've mentioned, we have some records or data there showing that some people are suffering from drug of this nature or substance abuse, but majority, quite bigger number, are those that have not been reported. And therefore, what we get from these rehab centers, we cannot say that that is a true picture of the situation, the drug situation in the country. That's why we always say that no, we don't have the data or the statistics, but at least there is something from these rehabilitation centers. But outside these rehabilitation centers are more than what we get from them. Yeah.
We know that with the cultivation and then with the distribution or selling of these cannabis or these marijuanas in packs or in pieces are being done by people. If not a group of people, then it could be an individual. If the law should get hold of such an individual, what would happen to that person? For example, if the person has had started to acquire a lot of properties out of this particular business, what would happen to that person?
Thank you. Any person arrested or caught with any of these drugs, whether using it or trafficking it, selling it, it's an offense, and the law prescribes punishment for either case. If the person is using it himself, the law requires that, based on the person's situation, the judge can recommend that the person is sent to rehab center
First.
first. If the person refuses to go, then the person can be put behind bars, sent to jail for maybe reformation.
Okay. And how long would that person take? Or how
That
long
will
would
depend upon
what the judge would give?
what the judge will give. If somebody is trafficking, trading in these drugs, the person can go in between 10 and 25 years.
Okay.
Yeah, between 10 and 25 years. That one to the determination of the exact number of years depend upon the judge and the nature of the offense.
Okay.
The nature of the offense. That will determine whether the person should go for 10 years, 20 years, or 25 years. So that is the stand of the law at the moment. But
And if there are properties involved, it will be sold?
If there are properties involved, immediately the person is convicted, the commission can apply to the judge or the law court to authorize the seizure of the property. So if, let's say, this room is discovered that this room is being used to process the cannabis or the marijuana, the weed,
in any form at all.
In any form at all. Once it is found in this property or on this property, it can be seized and be confiscated eventually.
Okay.
Even if it is found in a vehicle, the vehicle can be confiscated as well. Any form of conveyance equipment can be seized and confiscated to the state. So any property at all that is identified in relation to any drug offense can be confiscated.
What are the effects of marijuana after a person has taken it into the system, and how do we relate all these things to road traffic accidents?
Okay, thank you. When people smoke marijuana, first it gives them some false pleasure, some euphoria. So the person becomes happy, and sometimes you see the person laughing when there is nothing to be laughed at. The person becomes high, and to him he is rejoicing. He becomes so relaxed, forgetting about any problem around him. But eventually the negative effects surfaces. It can have, first it can have problem with the lungs, it can have problem with the kidney, it can have problem with the heart. First effect on the heart is that it increases the heartbeat, so the person breathes faster than normal.
Okay.
Marijuana has been found to be something that increases appetite, especially for sweets. Yeah, so if somebody takes marijuana, the person begin to have more appetite for food
Sweet
and
things.
sweets. Yeah, sweet things. But all narcotic or psychotropic or psychoactive substances affects the brain, and that is the most dangerous aspect of all narcotic drugs that we've been talking about. When people smoke, some immediately they will have the effect, some too it will take some time, and that is why others argue that, oh, marijuana, it's not dangerous, it's not dangerous. Somebody can say, oh, that, but I have been smoking for about 20 years.
And I've not had any lung
not had
disease,
any
any kidney disease,
any
heart
disease. Some say, oh, it helps people to learn, or it opens your mind. Initially, you may feel that these are true, but eventually it will replace the joy that you get from it with some ailment that you cannot even find the medicine for, the treatment for. So that is how it affects the users. Now,
but do people take it and throw up or vomit?
Yes, but that depends upon the individual.
Okay.
Some take it and they will not show anything, but others too, when they take it, especially the first time smokers, some may vomit, some may have problem with sleep, they cannot sleep, but eating, it will rather increase their appetite, so they will eat more than they usually do. But the number one aspect is loss of sleep. They cannot sleep. So eventually, when the person continues to take it, or even more, eventually the person becomes addicted to it. That is one danger about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it is addictive. So the person becomes addicted to it, and every now and then want to.
Are you saying that the first time you smoke, you are tempted to smoke the second time?
Yes.
Okay.
The first time you smoke, you get the high, and then some few minutes or hours, it subsides from your system.
Okay.
But the high that you get will propel you, or will excite you to go for more.
To do more.
And one thing about these drugs is that when you start with small quantity, the next time you are going to take it again, you need to have more quantity before you can attain the same level of experience you had the first time. So if, let's say, you smoke one roll the first time, next time when you are going to you need to double it, or even more, before you can attain the same level of high that you want. And that makes it dangerous for addiction. Because of that, you'll be taking it more and more and more. Another thing that researchers have come out with is that about 10 to 12 years, every 10 to 12 years, the THC increases in all the species.
In all the plants?
Yes, all the plants.
Okay.
So
if this year, if in the last 12 years, it was around 2%, it means that in the next 12 years, it will shoot out to 4 or 6.
Exactly.
Okay.
It increases every between 10, 12 years. Okay. Every 10, 12 years. The species, the plant itself regenerates into higher content of the THC. The TH content in the same plant increases. Okay. And that also shows that the potency of the plant is increasing all the time, especially where now people use all sort of technology in cultivating the plant. Yeah.
So some it's very high.
Yes, some can use some agric technology to increase the content, the way they plant it, to increase the content of the THC at all times. So the way it may affect, or it might have affected some people, the users about 12 years ago,
10 years back, will not affect, will
be more than that. The danger will be more than that. This is why people have to be very careful when they are using this marijuana, or smoking, or using it in any form. Yeah.
Thank you very much. But our phone lines are activated. Please call, and when you call, do want to lower the volume of your television set. Mr. Ajay, before we continue, how long can this marijuana last in your system after smoking?
Yeah,
and if do we have any of the content. I mean, even the slightest content in shisha or any of the types of or forms of smoking things, or these small things we see people smoking. Do we have any content of marijuana in it, or the presence in it?
Yes.
So why can't we put an end to smoking shisha in public places, or even smoking it at all?
The problem is, let me again begin with the last part of the question. The problem is shisha is not illegal, just like cigarettes or alcohol.
Okay.
They are legal drugs. So if somebody is smoking cigarettes, you don't have any legal basis of arresting the person. But they have some ways of using the illegal drugs by disguising them with the legal drugs.
Okay. So that's what they are doing now.
So also those who use shisha also they do say shisha. It is known that what they use is tobacco, but those who want to go the extra mile, if I should use it that way, will mix it with marijuana. And unless you go closer to see what they have, you will not be able to tell that what they have is marijuana. They conceal it, just like knowing that it is illegal. They will not do it openly for people to see that they are smoking marijuana.
Okay.
So before you can arrest somebody having shisha, then you have a strong evidence to show that this is weed. That is why they are using shisha, and we don't have the legal basis to say that nobody should use this shisha.
So do you think the country would get to a stage where we would have a detecting machine? We get to people smoking shisha, and then we take some of the content, put it in the machine, test it out, and if there is any content in it, we make an arrest. Do you think we can get there as a country?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
If we get there, if we get to the point where we have to ban it, then all the necessary things that will help us get the evidence, then we'll have to get it, so that we save people's life from being destroyed with this shisha. Because just like any of the illegal drugs, people introduce others from it by disguising what they have, lure them into it. They get into it before they realize where they are or where they've been placed. The same way somebody can introduce a friend to the use of shisha, and then gradually and eventually the person will be introduced to some other illegal drugs. Because I've read from in some documentary that in some countries,
Mr. J, we have a
somebody on the line.
Yes.
All right.
Hi, good evening, Deborah.
Good evening, please.
Yes, and where are you calling from, please?
Please, I'm Adoatv.
I can hardly hear you, Deborah.
The line is not.
The line is breaking. Your line is breaking. Reposition yourself, please.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Please, I want to ask Fred, why cigarettes is legalized, hemp cannot be legalized under policy for the.
Okay, thank you very much. If I'm getting your question right, you're asking why cigarettes is legalized, but marijuana or weed cannot be legalized. Thank you very much. We'll do what to answer your question.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for calling. Mr. Ajay.
Yeah. Cigarette is not legalized. It is not Ghana alone, but even under the United Nations system, cigarette is not legalized. Sorry, it's not an illegal drug. It's a legal substance. The history behind that is from very old. At the moment, I cannot figure out, or I cannot say exactly why. But marijuana has been found to contain chemicals that are harmful, even though cigarette too has a lot of harmful chemicals. Marijuana was found to be more addictive. Perhaps that is why that differentiates
cigarettes from marijuana. All right, thank you very much, Robert.
So because of the addictive nature and subject to abuse, it is something that people abuse more.
Okay.
Maybe that is why.
Okay.
For now,
thank you
that's
very
what
much.
I can say.
Robert, good evening. Thanks so much for calling. I understand you're calling from Sabuba.
Yeah, good evening. I'm Waja Robert, calling for 15 High.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you, madam. You see, the drug abuse in the country, sometimes I may say that we, the parents, we are failed in a way.
Why would you say that?
I'm saying that because I'm a parent. I have 5 children.
Okay.
And I know my children, and my children know me.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Yes.
If my child goes out and comes back to the house, I have to be able to detect his movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
But some parents have failed. They don't have time for their children. When the child goes out, when the child comes back to the house, that's the problem. As for drug abuse, it's abundant in the country. And I may say that 50% is from the parents. I've brought you to the world. Let's say, with the help of Almighty God. You understand? You must abide by my way.
Yeah.
So, but some of the parents have failed. They'll go out and come late in the evening. So they don't know what about the children, whether they have been to school or not. So the drug abuse in the country, parents are contributing factors to that.
Interesting. How can we help? What can we do to help?
We can only help to reduce, if you cannot stop it, that parents must be up to their task as a parent.
Okay.
When you give birth to a child, you must stick to the welfare of that child. You understand me?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. You, the parent, must have concern for the child. If it's today, if I'm not there, the child will succeed me. Those things are no more in African life today. That we give birth for children to ensure the continuity of the family. So that if I'm not there, my name is pronounced.
Okay.
So today, if I give birth to a child and I'm no more alive, in which way will my name be pronounced that I was the Robert gave birth to this child?
Interesting, Robert. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
I think Robert has said enough what I always say, or what we always say when we are doing this education. It has been noticed or found out that the parental upbringing, parental control at
Sometimes
home,
the teachers who get to notice these kids.
yeah, are the major risk factors. Lack of parental control at home.
Okay.
There are situations where even parents introduce their children to these drugs.
Mr. Adi, thank you very much. But I want
alcoholic drinks.
Yeah, first things first. Hi, good evening, Benjamin. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, good evening, Benjamin.
Thank you very much, madam. But I heard you talking. I heard you saying that cigarette is not it's not legalized.
No, we never said any of that. We rather said that it is legalized, but we were asking why cigarettes has been legalized and we cannot legalize marijuana. That's what we are just talking about. Maybe you got it wrong.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you too.
I want to know.
Okay. Thank you very much. A child's upbringing is so dependent on a mother,
Yes.
or on a parent.
On the parents.
Yeah.
And most of times, the men are those to be blamed. Most men leave the upbringing to the women.
To the women, yeah.
Especially where there's a break in the marriage. You see that the man will leave the children entirely to the woman to take care of them single-handedly, and most of the time
she cannot be working
and
having her mind,
she will
and her
not
eyes
be
in the
able
home
to provide
Yeah.
all the
needed
needs
support
of the children.
All right,
So
thank you very
that
much,
make the
Mr.
children
Adia. I want to answer this
going
call.
wayward.
All right, thank you. Hi, good evening. Yes, kindly speak up a bit.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Yes.
Mohammed, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Tamale.
All right, thanks so much for joining us.
I wanted to ask the doctor, he was saying that he wants us to believe that marijuana cures the
It does what?
Alzheimer's.
I can hardly hear you. Please come again.
I said marijuana cures Alzheimer's.
It cures what?
Alzheimer's. And it doesn't cure a lot of cancer. And also, drinking and alcohol on the other hand causes a lot of cancer. And there are few improving medical conditions that are scientifically caused by marijuana. There are no records. And we have a lot of records on the use of tobacco and alcohol. And these are legal substances. Our thinking should be made on these legal substances very highly. But they cause a lot of harm, more than this marijuana. This marijuana is, I've read a lot of people, I've read it cures even epilepsy. These are things.
So you are saying you are saying that you think that it should be legalized. Is that it?
And I'm saying that comparing them to each other, it's a lot better than this drug.
It should not be said as an illegal drug. Is that it?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
Comparing them to the legal drug.
You're comparing them to the legal drugs. Okay.
Yes, it's far better than most of the legal drugs in the market. It's far better than most of them. Because tobacco causes a lot of cancer, and we all know about it. Alcohol damages the kidney, and we all know about it. So there's no medical condition linked to this marijuana. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Mohammed. But this time we are not talking about it being a medicine. We are talking about abusing it.
Yeah.
And the way we handle it. Even if it has cured a particular disease for you, I don't think you should go ahead after the disease or that ailment is gone. I don't think you should go ahead and then still continue taking that same marijuana, because
Yes, like
you use it for a purpose, and the
Yeah.
purpose is far gone.
Like I said, we have no scientific basis to claim that it's a medicine for this particular
Illness or not.
illness. All those who are saying that they can use it for this particular ailment or that one, they are saying from maybe what they have
Your own
seen.
point of view.
Yeah, that is what they have seen. There has not been any scientific proof. If their claims were true, I have no argument to that.
To that, yeah.
But one thing that is sure is that the THC is contained in whatever quantity
You take.
they take to cure the disease there. And once the
You may be
THC
addicted
is there,
to it.
it is still dangerous.
To you.
So you may use it to cure asthma today.
But there's a side effect.
It will give you, the side effect will be even more severe than
the illness you were.
the ailment. So still, it is like he is saying. Yes, in the US we have heard. I've read that.
Mr. Ajay, before you continue with what the US has said about it, I want to pick a last line.
Your call has been put on hold.
Oh,
Hi, good evening.
Please wait.
Hello, good evening. Hello, Kwame. All right. Mr. Ajay, you were talking about what the US has.
I'm saying that in the US there has been two particular medicines that were produced from marijuana,
Wow.
which the Food and Drugs Authority has approved, but they did so with a lot of caution because of the THC. They've been trying to find out whether there will be side effects
to it or not.
So in Ghana here, we've not got even to that stage where we could have
Mr.
get one.
Kwame is back on the line.
Okay,
Hi, good
let's
evening.
hear Kwame.
Oh, Kwame, please don't do that. Hi, good evening. Hello. Okay, Mr. Ajay, please can you continue?
So two medicines have been approved.
Hi, Kwame, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Thanks so much for joining us. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from BA, and Dr. said, initially I joined you people online.
Okay.
But he was talking about taking the drugs and he sent me a candidate. And I know some even legal drugs, especially the hospital drugs, the doctors give. Most of them have the effect. So it's not for any drug you take has effect later. So why would they legalize this drug so that when you want to take, you can also specialize so that you take you through. You can take it because of this condition, this and that. You shouldn't take. People hide to take because they are afraid to consult even a brother or a senior who will have experience to advise them not to take. But I like to say, let me try because it's better I go to the bush to hide myself somewhere to take. But it has been legalized so that when I'm going to buy and I need a medical advice, I didn't know that this and that because of my disease or my condition I need not to take. I think if they do that, it will help. The education is good.
Kwame, I think that whatever we take into our system, whether good or bad, has an effect. You can't continue being a glutton. You can't continue being a foodien, as we all call it. You can't continue being a glutton. You can't continue eating anyhow you want to eat. The side effect of eating too much is either you grow too fat or too big for your own good.
This application started long time ago. I stopped ongoing.
Okay, so we should find a way around it. We'll do that.
Yeah.
We should find a way around it.
Kwame, let me give you one example of a legal drug. Tramadol. Tramadol came recently. But today, as we speak now, if the authorities will get means to ban it, they will do because of the abuse. Tramadol is an essential drug
for pain.
Yeah, it's even a legal drug.
Yeah, it's for pain.
It's a legal drug, and it's used for
severe pain,
curing pain, mild and severe pains.
Yeah.
Doctors know how much a person should take, and it is prescribed the same way. But when people found that it has mind-altering properties or they get high out of it, people are misusing it even more than the illegal drugs. So now, if they should get ways of taking it away from the system, they will.
Mr. Ajay, thank you very much. Kwame, please do well to call us back after the program. We are far behind time. I would want you to call. Mr. Producer, please can you keep his contact? We'll do well to call him after the show. Mr. Ajay, thank you so much for your time and for your education. I don't think we are still done, but this is how we would have to wrap up. But before we go, tell us something short in a few seconds.
Oh, okay. All that I'll say is what I've always been saying, and today one of our callers also mentioned it, that parental control at home is one major risk factor for drug abuse, which is taking over almost all the youth in the country. So parents should keep their eyes on their children to identify any change when children begin abusing drugs and seek help for such children so that they will not develop into disorder, drug abuse disorder or drug use disorder.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ajay. My name is Nafa Alikwaku. Thanks so much for staying with us throughout. So my producers and to the technical team, thank you so much and God bless you. We are out to come away same time next week, Monday. Before then, enjoy the rest of our programs.